Sir Arnold Edward Trevor Bax was an English composer, poet and writer who published Celtic fiction under the name Dermot O'Byrne. Born in London in 1883, the son of Alfred Ridley Bax and Charlotte Ellen, he was educated at a preparatory school in Bolham and attended the Hampstead Conservatoire and the Royal Academy of Music, winning a Macfarren Scholarship for composition. He travelled to Russia in 1910, discovering ballet. In 1911 he married pianist Elsita Luisa Sobrino, the two moving to Dublin. After the outbreak of World War I, he served as a special constable, not being able to serve in the army due to an issue with his heart. During the war he met pianist Harriet Cohen, abandoning his wife and children to have an affair with her. He would continue his relationship to Cohen for many years, along with also seeing Mary Gleaves, seeing both women at once for some 20 years. He was knighted in 1937 and died in 1953. As a composer, he wrote 3 ballets, 7 symphonies, and the music for 2 films, among many other works for piano, violin or flute, such as The Tale the Pine Trees Knew or Dance of Wild Iravel. He published both prose and poetry under the name Dermot O'Byrne, inspired by his move to Dublin. His first prose seems to have been published in 1900. The Children of the Hills, Tales and Sketches of Western Ireland in the Old Time and the Present Day, was released in 1913, and we shall be reviewing it today. Hunger is a marvellous story, a conte-crel of 3 boys tasked to carry an ancient manuscript across country, ravaged with death, murder and famine, and coming to an end no wise less grim than those they encounter. Through the Rain is a man's vision, remembering himself being a king leading a savage army to a mysterious bog filled with the corpses of many other kings. Sir Antonín recounts how the traveller and Danny Boy travel to a far-off village to a fair no one bothers to go to because there's no naked women anymore. Danny Boy finds out that when he was away, his love had killed herself, and on going home, distraught, he has to rely on the guidance of village madwoman Sir Antonín, who eventually reveals she had made Danny Boy's maiden kill herself to preserve their love, with Danny Boy barely avoiding meeting the same fate. The Call of the Road is the story of a vagabond whom 2 pranksters carry asleep into the house of a rich man whose daughter just returned from overseas, and who decides to go with him on the road to avoid a boring and predictable existence. Ancient Dominions is the story of a man who by accident follows one of his acquaintances into an underground cavern, where stands a pagan temple used by the locals. No sacrifices occur, but the woman who helps him escape says they would have his neck if they found him. The Lifting of the Veil concerns a man who, going through the forest, loses his way and winds up at a poor family cottage. Then, as the young woman is handing him milk, he remembers this same exact scene which happened 2,000 years ago, as he, an Irish warrior, ran from battle defeated into the cottage of his beloved. The woman almost remembers, but then doesn't, and the man goes away and never sees her again. The Death of Maca Goldhair recounts how a bloodthirsty queen had the tongue of her lover and harpist cut out after he laughs in her face because of her vanity. She then demands him to sing, but then an Amazonian woman steps forward and beats the harpist to death with his own harp. Then, after Queen Maca retires to sleep, she is awoken by the heat and smell of the fire, and is unable to rise because some force is holding her down.